Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for Put a Ring On It Season 3, Episode 10. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. And if you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you get anything out of the content, please share it with a friend. Let somebody know about the opinionated family. Child, put a ring on it. We've been so in love. And don't make me sing the song. Child, let's get into it. We're going to get into it. When the episode first opens up, the couples are still with Dr. Nicole, and she's asking Otis and Charlena about their dates. So Charlena was like, well, it's a part of the process, and it's what happens in the end that makes a difference. So Otis originally said he didn't have a comment when asked how he felt about it. So Dr. Nicole said, okay, Mr. Otis, say something. So he said, well, I'm just a little bit curious as to why she would be interested in putting herself in a disrespectful situation with Slowdale. Now, y'all know he didn't say Slowdale, but y'all know that's what I like to call him. So Dr. Nicole was like, what do you mean disrespectful? With the dates? He said, not necessarily with the dates. He said, there's no way first date talk with a grown woman should be about your sex life or threesomes. And I have to agree with old Otis, okay? It was icky. It was disrespectful. Look at me agreeing with old Otis. I agree with him. There is no reason for you to be talking to Charlena about that stuff. Like, what is wrong with you? So he said also him saying that he'll take his woman, he feels like that's disrespectful. The second date, he had the same energy. And now the third date, he's like, why? Like, why are you going on these dates? I'm wondering why too. Honey, can't be them story times. So after he finished, now mind you, Dr. Nicole asked him, well, what do you have to say, Otis? Mr. Otis. She calls him Mr. Otis. What would you like to say, Mr. Otis? Child, after he finished, Dr. Nicole gonna say, okay, I appreciate you saying that. Baby, Dr. Nicole has checked out. She asked this man to share his thoughts, and when he did, she skimmed right on past it, honey. She could care less. She's like, so, on to this week's assignment. I'm like, lady, why did you even ask him? Listen, in this moment, I felt a little bad for Otis because it's like he really wanted some feedback and to see if maybe he was thinking the wrong thing and what he was thinking wasn't right. But baby, Dr. Nicole was like, yeah, this week's assignment, honey, I feel the exact same way, honey. This week's review, and I cannot believe y'all are dragging this out. Please, God, let these people get down on bended knee or get up or do whatever they're going to do so we can be done moving forward. So she said for this week's assignment, the ladies will be trying on wedding dresses. Okay. Why? She said she wants them to ask themselves if that's the man that they want to spend the rest of their lives with. I'm not about to entertain such foolishness, honey. So let's get to the gowns. So Shay and Alfonso will work on their relationship. Shorty and Mr. Turtleneck, they will work on their relationship. And Tit and Tat will each get each other back per usual. Moving forward. In the next scene, the ladies arrive at the bridal shop to try on dresses. Everyone looked pretty in their gowns, but it's them playing dress up at this point, okay? Shorty said there's a small part of her that feels like, girl, why are you trying on dresses knowing your relationship isn't quite there? Quite there? Baby, the two of you shouldn't even have each other's phone numbers. It's more than y'all are not quite there. First of all, I could never choose my actual wedding gown without my mom and my sister. Now, I know this is a show, but I'm like, oh, honey, I just wouldn't even feel right trying on the dresses. It just really wouldn't give what's supposed to be gay for me. So Shay said Fonzo needs to go to his baby's mother and he needs to speak to her and let her know what it is. Shay said he decided to be in a relationship with her and end his relationship with that ex, so he should be able to tell everyone no matter how it looks. He can't, because y'all overlapped each other. And you ain't fooling me. Let me find out Shay was dealing with Alfonso while he was in a relationship or with his ex. Sounds like he just moved on and left the ex to figure it out. Child, something ain't right. The math ain't mathing. In the next scene, Shay and Alfonso go on a date. Child, he gonna pull out the man boobs per usual. Shay, I heard you tell Alfonso that he does not need to go on any other dates with women looking how he looking. And I know you meant that in a good way, but I'm here to tell you right now, honey, you are absolutely right. He needs to button it up. Button it up, honey. Button them shirts right on up, child. Always showing a little décolletage. So when they sit down, she's like, I want you to treat me like you do the other dates. If he does that, he will be sitting at another table because you had him trained. Honey, he was nervous as hell. So they get a few drinks going, trying to get the vibe right. And they start talking about the phone call that he has to make to his child's mother. And he said that he's ready to do it and get everything all out in the open because he knows it's all going to work out. She said, okay, so the $1 million question is, are you willing to be truthful no matter how she responds? I'm not understanding what he has to be truthful about unless he was messing with you and her at the same time. He's like, yeah, I'm going to be honest. I mean, I never heard anything from her. I'm sure, please. He was like, the main goal is to just make Shay happy. This is what he said in his confessional. He's like, the main goal is just to make Shay happy and make it work. Just as long as she knows I'm trying. Sounds like the excuses are already starting. And that's what it sounds like to me. Child, he said a little something to Shay, honey, and she ate it up. I don't know what's happening, child. I'm not buying it. He said a bunch of nothing, if you ask me. She started getting all emotional. Oh my gosh, you never spoke to me like that. Baby, he had me going in circles. So in his confessional, he was like, our relationship has improved greatly. I mean, it was really the blending of the families, and we're working on that. So then he had some flowers presented to her at the dinner, and she's like, you're not going to give me a kiss? Charlie's so used to not touching on dates, he forgot he was allowed to actually kiss you. Child, this is a mess. This is a mess. In the next scene, Otis is on his way on another boring date dressed in eggplant. Hey, sir. So Sheree said, I just want to know why he wanted the third date. But I mean, he always seems excited to see me. So I'm excited to see how the date's going to go. Does he? Okay, Sheree. So they sit down to play Connect 4. So she starts asking questions. Y'all know how she like to do. And she's like, so, I mean, you asked me on a third date, child. Completely ignored. Why you asked me on a third date? He's like, good conversation. Are you hungry? Baby, if you're hungry, grab a Snickers. Why wait? The woman is asking you a question. This dude don't care nothing about this date. Not nothing. He's like, I'm hungry. You want to get something? She's like, are you going to get it for us? All Otis cares about anytime he meets a woman at a restaurant is he going to get something to eat. That is all he cares about. Over on the other side, Charlena is meeting up with Chris, and he's saying he's getting mixed signals from her. I don't know what keeps causing her to go on these dates. I really don't. I guess now he can finish his story time, child, because I ain't going to never forget that. So they're talking, and she's like, yeah, I showed him your Instagram. Girl, why would you do that? Ugh. It just seems so juvenile. She's like, yeah, I showed him how you look, and I told him you be liking my pictures, so he knows how you look now. I'm like, okay. Back with Sheree and Otis, he brings this snack pack, and she's like, this is good. Is this something you would make? Okay. He is totally disinterested, and she can feel it too. She's like, something is off. Like, he seems a little closed off. I mean, it's very awkward. Baby, I would leave Otis sitting right there. Do you hear me? He would be playing Connect 4 with Casper because I would be gone. Honey, ain't nobody you about to invite me, use me, and then don't even converse with me. You're not saying anything. He too busy worrying about what Charlene and Mr. Steal Your Girl over there doing. That is so disrespectful to her and a total waste of time. Why did you even invite her? Every time she talks to him, he's saying absolutely nothing. Like he don't want to be bothered. Back over here with Chris and Charlie, she's trying to close the chapter, and he's like, we should go out more. Sir, it ain't happening. So she said, yeah, about that. Yeah, I think you're dope. I really do. But I'm committed to my relationship. Really, girl? You could have sent him a DM on Instagram to get your lick back. He said that he respects that and wishes her the best. Child, he gonna be DMing her every chance he get. You better not post nothing happening in this relationship, because Slodell is waiting to slide in. Back with Sheree, she's still over there pulling teeth with Otis. Ma'am, don't ask him a damn thing else. Don't ask him nothing else. Let him go home to Charlena. His mind is not there. Although this date is just like all the others, it was boring the last time y'all went out. It was boring the first time you went out. He's definitely not in the headspace for this today. So he tells her that this process put him in a position to want to marry his girlfriend. Moving forward. In the next scene at Shay and Alfonso's Airbnb, he has to make the dreaded phone call to his child's mother. Child, let's get into it. So, baby, he calls Ju. Hello. Hey, how you doing? What? Oh, well, yeah, child, he tried to start with the niceties. She was like, what? Hey, I'm fine. What do you want? I know that's right. I know that's right, child. She did not want to hear from Alfonso. So he's like, well, I mean, I went to see the lady. Child, they always go to see the lady. He's like, well, I've been getting some help, so I'm just calling to apologize. I mean, I went about it the wrong way, and you're still very valuable to me. Alfonso left that woman for Shay, point blank, and the period. That's exactly what he did. He's like, I don't want you to think I just cut you off, but you did though. Baby, and she was not having it. She was like, okay, so you're healed, but I'm left broken. You threw me by the wayside and whatnot, but I guess Alfonso does what many men do. They start a new relationship before ending the previous one. You thinking you're getting the version of him that is 100% FREE, but you're not. Okay, he got a whole relationship and he slid on over there to Shay and cultivated a relationship with her. So she tells him, you should have closed one chapter before you started another. Basically letting all of us know that you were dealing with Shay while you were dealing with me. She's not buying the I'm sorry. He's like, yeah, but I'm sorry about that. Child, she was not buying that. Now, I don't know if Shay was aware, but she was definitely with that man while he was in a relationship. That's why she be going off about those other women, because she knows how their thing started. So if you start that way, how you get him is majority of the time how you lose him. So he tells us that she just needs to move on because he's not with her and he's ready to marry Shay. So Jewel is like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and tie my loose ends on my own and you can go on about your life with your woman. Baby, that woman is hurt. That's why his mama don't want nothing to do with Shay. She knows exactly what happened with his child's mother, and they probably had a close-knit relationship, and then all of a sudden, Shay came out of nowhere. Child, there's some layers to this, honey. We should have called her in the beginning of the season. That's the real show. So she told him, you don't, introduce your child to your fiance before you introduce her to me. He's like, yeah, I went about it wrong. She's like, yeah, you don't mean it, but whatever. You know what? As I was listening to her, she sounds a lot like Shay. They both have that snappy turtle syndrome, and they definitely gonna get Alfonso all the way together, honey, him and his piece and chain. So she was like, look, I'm willing to work it out. You are a great dad. You're a good father. And, I feel like everything is gonna be good. He hurry up and cut her off, child, before she said too much, and he ain't fooling me. Child, I'm surprised Shay didn't pop out. Child, I just knew she was gonna come down them stairs, honey. He said, I just really hope that Shay appreciates it. Child, moving forward. In the next scene, Shorty and her dude, they go on a date to do cuddling yoga. They don't need to touch each other. Do you hear me? So the instructor tells them to get in the position where he lays his head in her lap. Very fitting because she sees him as a man-child and a baby anyway. So they start communicating after she leaves the room, and he tells her that he wants to grow and he wants to love her. So she was like, okay, well, what do you need from me? And he said to basically have faith in him. So she said, okay, so basically you want me to believe in things that I haven't seen? He's like, yeah, I want you to know I'm going to show up. So she wants him to tell her how exactly he's going to show up. Child, it's all talk at this point, okay? He just talking in circles, ain't saying nothing. Neither of y'all have the tools to continue, so I don't even know why y'all are having this conversation. He claims that he's going to pull his weight financially, but she is not buying it because he won't give her a specific plan. What is the plan? You're not saying anything. So, child, he sits up because he gets a little bit heated. Now, mind you, he's heating up during this date, and it's going to carry on a little bit later. She's like, okay, so don't get mad, but what are you going to actually do to get us there? The way that she has to say, don't get mad before speaking is speaking volumes. I don't care about all that. Well, she spoke to him the way and he tired. I don't want to hear that. Okay, I don't want to hear that. I see through that. No, I don't want to hear it. He's a light switch. He will get upset when confronted with the truth, and that's just the bottom line. There's no reason she should have to say that before she speaks. Well, okay, well, don't get mad. No. Absolutely not. He should be pulling his weight as well. And I don't understand why so many people don't understand that. Kenneth is doing the bare minimum and not even that. Child, this is a fool. So he starts talking about her consoling him, and I want you to console me and I want you to cuddle me. You heard me? No. She wants you to provide for her. When you're in a marriage, y'all can't survive off of cuddles alone. Like, what are you going to do? She's like, sir, you're going to pay all the bills, cook all the meals. Is that what you're going to do? Are you serious? She's like, I feel like you're just selling me pipe dreams at this point. Like you're just living in la la land. So she asked him if their relationship feels forced. She was like, because I feel like we're two different puzzle pieces and we don't quite fit. He's like, well, I don't feel like it's forced, but I'm willing to get out the chisel and, make it fit. Well, then it's forced. Sir, goodbye. Moving forward. So Shorty said in the moment she realized that they are not meant to be together. Child, in that moment, child, I realized it the episode 1, okay? As soon as he locked himself in that restroom with that phone, I was done. She said he doesn't live in the real world. He always thinks things are fine when they are not, and he doesn't listen to her, especially when she says she's upset, which is probably why she's lashing out. If we're going to give an excuse, we need to give an excuse for her as well, because they both toxic, okay? And him more so than her. This is not new. I don't want to hear, well, he just reached his boiling point. Absolutely not. He was unhinged, and nobody should be treated that way in an intimate relationship. I'm sorry. It's not happening over here with me. Absolutely not. So then the instructor comes back in, and then she asks the two of them to hug each other. Well, child, this is symbolic. Let's just kiss and say goodbye. So in the confessional, he said, why would I continue to play myself? I mean, those days are long gone. And then he did like this little sinister laugh. Baby, the switch up is crazy. Back at their apartment, Shorty tells us that they had a conversation last night, and they had, they were talking about them being engaged, and she noticed a shift in his mood and in his body language. So he's in there like, you want some wings? And she's like, no, please don't say anything to me. Don't talk to me. I'm really not in the mood for you. So she sits down on the couch, and he proceeds to verbally abuse her. Here we go. So he's drinking. I've been drinking. Shout out to Beyonce. So he's drinking, and she's telling him that he needs to chill. And he's saying all this crazy stuff, and then he comes and sits down next to her. So he was like, listen, marriage is the last thing that I need, especially with a woman like you. Trust me, honey, I'm sure the feeling is mutual. So he said he feels like a fool because she does not appreciate him. She's unappreciative. Of what? What are you giving her exactly? What is she unappreciative of? He's like, you know what? F marriage. I want it someday, just not with you. I know she's turning cartwheels on the inside, the same ones you're about to turn in just a few minutes. So he going off. He telling her she ungrateful, and she's told everyone how she really feels about him and why would he stay with her and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, oh, okay, I guess it's the liquid courage. So he said, you're not even my type, Shorty. So he just bashing her. She's not your type, really? I beg to differ. Those videos beg to differ. I'm just saying. So she's like, oh, okay, well, get your stuff, and I need you to leave because I feel the exact same way. I'm not feeling you. I don't want you anymore. I don't want to have to do this with you. She was like, I don't want to have to wait 3 more years. And she said, it's sad that it took you this long to get some balls to say it. When I tell y'all this was so triggering for me to watch, it really was. I have been in relationships like that, and I was literally sitting on the edge of my seat. I'm just saying, child, allegedly. It was triggering for me. So he claims that she does this all the time. I really don't like how this is going. The two of them are really getting combative. And he said he don't give a how she feels. And she's like that all the time. And she's like, okay, so once you're sober, then you'll be back begging. And he was like, begging. So he hanging all over the side of the couch and whatnot. This is the realest scene of the whole season. This reminds me of that scene from Jason's Lyric when Forrest Whitaker's character was drunk and being, overly aggressive with the woman. That's exactly what this scene reminded me of. So he's truly showing out at this point, okay? He is showing his whole natural black ass, okay? Losing it. She's like, so are you moving out today? He gives her his speech, honey. You is kind, you is smart, you is important, Kenneth. You is the help, okay? So he gave a speech. I'm smart. I'm a wonderful man. I can do anything I set my mind to. I have talent. Then he turns a cartwheel. Okay, Stewie, it's giving Mad TV. Look what I can do. Okay, you turned a cartwheel, and what else is going on? Till I'm done. I am done. This is not funny. But when he said I am talented and turned that cartwheel, I said, okay, let me go take a refreshing beverage break. Always Coca-Cola. Honey, I had to get up. He is unstable. I'm sure she's happy as hell that the cameras are there because I do not know how this would have turned out if the cameras were not there, and people cannot take this seriously and think it's no big deal. He's just blowing his top because he's frustrated. No, ma'am. A drunk mouth speaks a sober mind. So she's telling him that he's a child. Now, let me just point this out. The two of them are toxic. Together, they are a mess. I'm not saying that this was not a buildup. But what I am saying is, this is the real Kenneth, and he's not fooling me. Okay? That's what I am saying. So she's like, you're a child. He said, you a fake mother. So he cussing, she going off. And so I guess production could see that it was getting out of hand. And he was like, come on, let's just go. Child, I'm worried about when they leave. You telling him, come on, let's go. But I'm worried about what's going to happen when y'all happen to leave. He steady cussing and clowning. So in his confessional, he blamed it on being a Gemini. No, sir. This is who you are. I'm pretty sure that, yes, Geminis have their light switch. You know, they say that Geminis are two different people, have two different personalities. But now, honey, this is you. So he tells her that he'll be back. He was like, I'm going to be back later on tonight. And then blows her a kiss. See, this right here shows you that he does not want to go down without a fight. Honey, absolutely not. So he starts packing his stuff, and she's like, here's a suitcase, because I know you don't have one, and you can have it, and you can also keep the money that you owe me. So she packed him up, and she was like, you were in a trash bag when you came, and you're going to be in a trash bag when you leave. And then she put his stuff out in the hallway. So in the confessional, he was like, in the past, I probably would have called her back, but with the tools Dr. Nicole gave me, you heard me? Yeah, I'm not that dude anymore. Really? So why is it that you have those obsessive videos online? Are you not that dude anymore? Let me just say, Shorty, I'm speaking directly to you. I'm seeing what's being put all over the internets, okay? I am seeing what's going down. And all I can say is I hope you, if not switched addresses, at least changed your locks. And you bet not be in communication with this dude, because this right here was a public display of embarrassment. But I feel like this is always how things go when he doesn't get his way. And I would almost bet my entire savings that he goes off on plenty of people this way. I'm just saying. Child, this was crazy. To me, I feel like this scene was too drawn out and it went a little bit far. And I don't feel like the two of them should communicate. And then next episode, they're sitting next to each other in front of Dr. Nicole. This should have been done. Once she put his things outside and he exhibited that type of behavior, he reminds, child, listen, I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even going to go there. All I'm going to say is this. Next week, I better see the two of them and their conversations ending with sitting in front of Dr. Nicole. And that's that on that. Child, y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. I thought it was insane, especially the ending. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.